your project management journey from start to a top performance there. My name is Guilherme and I'm a project management expert. I help professionals and companies to develop their project management skills. How do I do that in practice? Well, it can be with training, with one-on-one mentoring with consultants in companies. For example, I talked with a company a few weeks ago. They are changing, but they are kind of lacking the operational structure, or the efficiency, or the procedures to oversee their projects. So what I do there, I help them to create a structure. I help them to build the knowledge, and I help them, of course, to put the structure in place. Or I help in some cases, like I have one mentee that's trying to transition her career from a project management officer, from a PMO officer there, to a junior project manager. So I help her to manage activities from my small project that she has. That's kind of the opportunity that the company gave to her to as a first step to start improving. So I help her to organize the project, to get structure, clarity, to understand what items needs to be prioritized to make sure that the project can be executed in a proper way there. So the topic I'm going to talk about today, it's of course one. It's based on something that happened with me today. Let me explain to you. I talk about, of course, the starting of a project management journey to a top performance, and I think I've already mentioned, but a few months ago I started to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And of course, I've never trained this before. I don't have any fighting experience there. So I've I'm going through a learning journey, and of course, this journey is very similar from my the analogy is very similar from when I see people starting their careers. But this week here, after a bit less than 6 months training, what happened there? I got my first stripe there. What's a stripe? If you don't know it about jiu-jitsu, after you get few stripes there, so I'm white belt. After I get few stripes, that means that I'm ready to move for my next belt there. And it was very nice because it was completely unexpected. I do that early in the morning, 7 a.m. my time. So I went there, I did it, I trained it, I did my sparring, and in the end, after the professor comes to me, okay, put your G again. Your G is like the fighting clothes there. And okay, he asked me and the other guy to do it, and we put it. And he said, "I'm going to give you a stripe." So I was very pleased, surprised, and that gave me idea for this content here because I think the same. That's why I think it's a nice analogy. Things that I see that I've been learning with my jiu-jitsu, and I see also people struggling their project management career. First and very common thing. For example, I started as a white belt. I already mentioned without any previous experience. But as many people start with project management. But to get to a level where I can go for example, for a black belt there are years of practice, and depending how often you practice, how much you're training. But usually, I've seen people talking about okay, if you're training 3, 4 times a week, for go for a white belt to a black belt in jiu-jitsu, if you're doing it right, dedicating yourself will take you 10 years. And of course, people say, "Oh, 10 years, that's amazing. That's too much, too long. It's crazy." With project management, you can take some similarities there. I'm not saying that, of course, depending where you are, you're going to need 10 years to be at top performance, but something that's clear, you need time. And one of the things that I see in the analogy of the jiu-jitsu, and that's of course something that I even discussed it in a session with one of my mentees this week, because she was struggling with something and with some tasks, and say, ah, but this task here takes me a lot of time because I need to keep reviewing and reading. And that brought me the idea of the same thing that happens with me while I'm training jiu-jitsu. Because, for example, I'm a very white belt, so white belts they tend to waste a lot of energy and time, struggling a lot, which end up not helping them to achieve or to have a better performance during a sparring session, for example. It's exactly the same case with this person that is starting the career there and trying to transition for a junior project manager position. She struggled a lot with tasks, And say, yeah, but for you, you can do that like in maybe in 1 hour or half an hour you get it done. For me it takes hours because I need to understand what needs to be done. I don't know with whom I need to talk to, where I need to follow up, where I need to check the information. And I told her that's normal part of your process. I've already mentioned also that in the beginning of my career, where I started, I was a planning and controlling engineer. In a lot of days I started my work and say, I do not know what I should do today. I'm not sure what should I do today. And then I would start to try to dig something to do today. That's why being proactive is very important, because other people are there starting there. They don't know what to do and they just sit and wait until someone is going to tell them what to do. In my case, I did not know what to do. Say, I decided, okay, let me dig up drawings. Let me start to read here quotations from different suppliers. Let me look for the business case, and that's what I did in the beginning until I figure out what I should do, of course. Until I figure out what kind of routine. That's exactly the same situation that you have coming back to the analogy situation. If you're a white belt, you see people struggling with a lot of energy, and if you look for a higher belt, maybe a purple belt, a brown belt, or a black belt, you see those people during the fight, they are usually calm. They are trying to save their energy because they know if you're struggling for every second, at some point you are going to get very tired, then you're going to lose the fight anyway. So they save their energy for the moments that are important. That means that they can spare for a much longer period of time just because they know how to invest their time and their they know how to invest their energy there. So that's exactly the same thing with between experienced or experienced project manager that of course that knows what he or she is doing, and a junior project manager. Uh, Experienced project manager, a senior project manager can handle more projects in parallel, more activities because he can be more effective with the use of his or her own time. So this is very important. And of course, but as in the same case of the jiu-jitsu, you're not going to go from non-experience or anything like else to be a senior project manager in one step. The only way that you need to do that if you go continue to do it. And when I got my stripe, one of the another very nice analogies that helps me to think about also with project management is in this journey. What do you need there? You need, I've already mentioned, to succeed, to go from a junior from the start of your project manager, a junior project manager, to get to a senior level. You're going to need to be proactive there. But you also need to make sure that you are resilient there. Or the word that I like more is antifragile. Antifragile is a concept that comes from the book with it's what this name antifragile from Nassim Taleb, where he talks about the difference about what's an antifragile. He explains with a lot of different examples. In general, a resilient person is a person that faces a challenge. You might, depending if you make more vision, you might bend it, but it does not break you. You come back to the same position. Antifragile would be a challenge that might bend you but makes you stronger, and that's the idea that I like. And what in general, if you think about resilience, because you know the concept better, that's fine. Why resilience is so important, and why the analogy I did with jiu-jitsu? Well, I've been training that for a bit less than 6 months. So I'm going more. I try to go twice a week at least. And in these 6 months, in every session, I do at least around half an hour of sparring session with somebody else. That means that I'm fighting with someone. That's what the sparring session is. Of course, it's not a competition. We are trying to learn, but we are trying to mock up a real situation there. In almost 6 months, I was able to win. What's winning? You mobilize the person and you make the person tap and say, okay, that's enough. Let's stop here and we start again. I won only five sparring sessions in 6 months. That means making a basic calculation there. Okay, 6 months, I go twice a week. If I that means that I had that many sessions. If I fight in average 5 times per session at least, depending of course how fast you win or lose each one. But that means that, and taking out a few days because okay, some days I did not go twice a week. I was on holiday traveling, blah blah blah. But that means in general, I competed in around I think 76 fights, and I won only 5. And why I'm telling you that? Because a lot of people, when you are starting work with project management, I see people they started, they think that in the first day they are going to have this great result, or in the first week, or in the second week. And I've seen some junior project managers they want to be after 3 months, 4 months as a junior project manager, they already want to be a manager. So you can barely handle the project that you have, but you already want to make very fast steps because you need resilience to grow and to improve. Because the same as in jiu-jitsu, a lot of times things will not be easy. A lot of times things will not go as you planned. A lot of times you are going to get pressure. And of course, it's important that you are learning this journey. It's important that you take the steps to keep developing yourself. But it's important that you understand it's a lifelong journey that you should have. That you are looking to improve yourself. That you are looking to be 1% better, or take a look in the poster there, 1% better every day. 1% better every day means that after 5 weeks, or after 3 months, after 6 months as a junior project manager, are you going to be able to perform at the same level of knowledge with your team as someone that has been doing that for 10 years? No. It means that you can have wins in the way, as I had while in the past 6 months with Jiu-Jitsu. Yes, it means that you can have some victories in the way and you should celebrate them. But also means that you can find a lot of struggle there. I told you that I lost 71 fights. That, you know, estimation that people made me tap or they choked me 71 times so I could win 5. How often do I see people that say, I want to move to project management, but I don't get any results. And I ask, okay, for how many positions have you applied? And people tell me, I applied for 2 positions, but I haven't heard back. 2 positions. I'm telling you that I lost 71 fights to be able to win 5. And you say, but that's jiu-jitsu, that's different. It's not. In the beginning or years back when I was trying to make my transition for like a project manager from Brazil to international project manager to manager different types of projects, the kind of stuff that I do now. I handle global teams, multi-million dollar projects, different sites around the world. I have projects where I have team members in Asia, Europe, and in the North America. That's what the type of thing that I was doing. That, but while I was in Brazil, I was already working as a project manager, and I had already, I think, a performance that was good. Of course, compared with the situation, I think if I compare what I do today with what I did in the past, I think it's quite different. I think well, today my performance is much better, much better. That means nice because I'm progressing kind of my belts there, and the same as you have with the jiu-jitsu again. But what's important here when I try to make this move, I had experience with project management more than 6 years, 4 years as a project manager. I had a PMP there already. I have a background in engineering. And I started to send a bunch of CVs and I did not get anything. Why? First of all, my CV was crap in the beginning. Crap in the meaning that I did not know how to write a CV. So yeah, what I was doing there, of course, was not effective there. But it took me a while to start to learn those skills. So I started to prepare. The first interview I did, it really sucked. It was horrible, and of course I did not get the position. But then I had to learn how to prepare for an interview. Why I'm telling you that? Because you're going to face challenges. And you're going to face challenge with interviews, with CVs. You're going to face challenge in your project. The first time that I had issues with my team members. I did not know how to handle it properly. I did not know how to handle the conflict. I did not know when to stop the conflict. And depending on what you're doing there, that's still I'm still learning. I've been doing that for I don't know how long. I've been working with project management already since 2009. But I continue to develop myself. I continue to develop my hard skills there. Meaning the past years I've been developing my skills on Lean. I have been developing my skills on Agile, Scrum, Kanban. I've been developing my skills in portfolio management, and I'm continuously looking for ways how I can improve, how can I learn. So the journey, it's not going to be. Sometimes it's a nice journey, but sometimes not to be straightforward. But that's why you need to be resilient there. You need to be prepared to take their hits. You need to be prepared to lose some fights or to lose a lot of fights so you can win some of them. And this is part of any type of journey there. So during this week, I was making all those analogies with jiu-jitsu here because I see people that they want the performance, but they don't want the work. And it is strange because I have, for example, a program to develop project managers there. So in the what part of the program I have a lot of special content talking about different things like how to improve productivity, leadership, how to develop mindset, waterfall, agile, Scrum, Kanban, Lean, finance, and so on. And sometimes I have some people that they enroll in the program and they want to get the results because they enroll in the program. And sometimes they don't watch it, they don't follow the program because I know it because of course I can. It's an online program, so I can see online who is attending, who is not, who is watching, who is participating. But suddenly they get they don't like it because they don't get the results. And this is kind of making another analogy with jiu-jitsu here. It's like people they want to progress in their belts, they want to be a black belt just by watching a black belt fight. The only way that you are going to progress in your career, that you are going to go from not working with project management to a top performance there, to have a very good skills, to have very good results, is of course if you're resilient, but also if you put the work. What do you think if it will happen with my jiu-jitsu if I don't train? If you say, okay, I'm still a white belt, but what happens if I don't go? If I for the next 6 months I simply don't show up? What's going to happen is I'm not going to develop. And the chances are that I'm going to forget even some stuff that I'm doing here. So the chances are that I'm going to go few steps back where I am today. That's what people do. If you enroll in the program but you don't study and you do not develop yourself, that's what you are doing there. You have the opportunity but you don't show up. So what you want in the journey to become a top performer there, and I do understand everybody wants the results, but most of people they're not willing to work for those results. That's why you're not going to find a lot of top project managers there. Because there's people that they have been doing that for years, but also they think they already know everything, so they do not keep studying. They do not look for ways to improve themselves. Sometimes they look for, and I've worked with people that they have been working like in the same company for 30 years. I've seen people working for the same company for 40 years, which is fine. And they discuss the process, the company, how it can improve it. But because they don't have an open mind, they have no idea what's happening in the world around them. So they do not know what's happening with project management, how other companies are working on, what's going on in the markets, what's different tools, different ways of doing things, different challenges that you have there. And they think, okay, I've already know everything, so I don't need to study. I've been doing that for a lot of years, so I don't need to study. And that's a big problem there. Then again, that comes back for the five characteristics that I mentioned that are crucial for to be successful with project management. ownership, being proactive there, anti-fragile, resilience, adaptability, and the last one, learning mindset. That those are the things that are going to help you to progress in your career. Because if you're the same thing, I keep making the analogy just because I like it, and also this week when I once it happened, I come back home and those ideas start pop up in my mind. If you do not train and if you do not look for ways to improve it, and of course with jiu-jitsu at some point it's physical, your body will learn. So don't do that because it's going to, even if you don't think about that, your body will learn, okay, that's not the result for that will be bad. So even unconsciously you're going to learn something. But it's much better if you think about that, okay, instead of only learning with the pain, how can I practice thinking the ways what I want to do it? So the journey that from start to a top performer might not be straightforward. Might going to have You're going to have peaks and you're going to have lows, which happens with everybody. Everybody with everybody doing that. You're going to have challenges. Different types of challenges can be from the challenge to start together your first job, the challenge to manage your first project, the challenge to manage your first team, the challenge to have to go your first conflict, the challenge to face the first angry manager, the first angry customer that you're going to have there. All those things they are a step in your progress there. What's important? You think what you are going to learn with that, how you can improve your activities, how you can look for ways to develop yourself. And that's, of course, when a program or training can help you with that because that will broaden your perspective to make sure that you build a better systemic view on what you think there, or you can make a bigger picture, a bigger overview, a helicopter view, or whatever you want to call that, to make sure that you're able to start to have to understand steps to going for the next level. Nobody is going to start a white belt and it's going to be a black belt in 1 month. In jiu-jitsu, that does not exist. In project management, that does not exist. Unless they invent something that, like in the movie Matrix, that you can just download the software in your mind and suddenly your body can do something. Uh, Unless we get to that level, which likely, at least, I don't think, I hope I'm not here to see it, because that would be a very strange word. Unless we get to that level, you need to put the effort, you need to put the work. Stop thinking so much in it's important to have the goal and say I want to be a top performer. Yes, this is very important. But just thinking on the goal that you want there and not putting the actions to go there will not help. To make a different type of analogy here. I live in the Netherlands right now. Let's assume that say I want to go to Italy, I want to go to Rome, and say okay, I want to go to Rome. What actions do I need to take to make this trip? Or either I can look for tickets, I can buy an air ticket to go to Rome, or I can say I want to drive it. I have my car, I'm going to drive it there. But I need to start to take some actions. Some actions can be preparation actions there, like looking for tickets and so on. Or okay, let's assume that I'm going to drive. I can look for a map where I'm going to do it. But at some point, I need to drive it. I need to buy the ticket. I need to do something because it's only doing things that will help you to progress with your career. That's why I'm making analogies with sport. And if you have been following me for a while, you've seen I'm making analogies with Michael Jordan, with Djokovic, the famous tennis player, because those people they have in common? The consistency to continue to take actions to improve themselves. That's why I'm telling you, uh, to do something, to achieve a goal, it's nice that you dream about it, but you need to take actions to make this real. Something that you see very commonly, if you want to see, for example, if you talk a lot of people, they have Oh, in my bucket list, I want to travel. I don't know. I want to go to Thailand. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to the US. I want to go to Italy or whatever place that you see that people say that they want to travel in. And for a lot of those people, you ask, hey, okay, are you planning to go there at some point? And I do understand that you can have a wish list of places that you want to visit. But then you ask, okay, what's the last time that you traveled somewhere? Have you ever traveled somewhere? And I've seen a lot of people, the answer is no, they've never gone anywhere. So saying, I want to go to that place. Have you ever did that? They say, no, but I cannot. And when they start to explain to you the reasons why they cannot do it, you understand that they really don't want that. Because they are finding reasons why they cannot do something. And that happens exactly the same with project management. I see people say, I want to be a top performer, I want to be in a high position, I want to do that. I'll say, okay, are you studying project management, first of all? No. Are you looking for positions from project management? No. Are you applying for positions for project management? No. I've seen junior project managers. Are you studying to improve your skills? You getting feedback to see how you can? No. As I mean, I've seen people that they want again. That's you say I want the result, but I'm not putting the work for doing that. So if that's your case, my goal with this video here is make sure that you understand that whatever you want to achieve it, you need to work for that. You want to be a top performer in project management, you need to work for that. Study project management, start to work on your networking, start to find a position with project management depending where you are there. If you don't do anything, nothing is going to change. If you don't do anything, you're not going to improve your performance. You're not going to be a better project manager. You're not going to grow into your career. The same thing if I want to progress my belt here with the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I need to go training. Otherwise, it's not going to help. If you want to get in shape, you need to exercise. It's not going to help. You want to lose weight, well, you need to exercise. You need to control what you are eating. Actions are the things that are going to give you the results. Not only thinking about that, not only buying trainings, not only buying programs. If you just by buying anything, it's like if you buy a book, does not make you a smart person. If you don't read a book, just buying the book is just a waste. It's a nice thing to see there. If you don't read a book, it's a waste. So stop thinking about progressing or evolving without putting the work. Have your goal there. You need to have your goal. That's very important because if you don't know where to go, you don't know what actions that you need to take for. Have your goal there. I want to be a top performance project manager, for example. I want to improve my project management skills, but start to take actions that you can do there. Actions that you can take right now to start to learn project management. If you're not doing that, learning project management. How you can learn project management? I have plenty of free content here from finance, agile, lean, waterfall planning. You can watch everything for free if you want. If you want to go for a next step, I also have a development program there that will help you on that. Get feedback if you're working. Get feedback from your manager. Get feedback from your peers. Get feedback from a friend. Get feedback from your partner to see how you can improve, how you can make your actions. Start to organize your routine. Start to put the actions that are in place. Start networking, like Project Management Institute (PMI), biggest EM project management institution around the world, has a lot of free events, a lot of them online. You can attend it for free. That will help you to learn project management. That will help you to improve your skills. All those are things that you can take right now, actions that you can take right now. But if you don't do anything, then don't complain if nothing will change your life. If you're not willing to take the actions, there's nothing else that I can do for you here. Make sure you like and share this video here so we can get more people and more people can learn project management. Don't forget to follow me for more content. Every week there's more project management content and I try to vary the content and the topics as much as possible. If you see a topic that you would like to have, an important topic that you would like to have a content, Write down in the comments here. I would like you to have a topic talking about planning, a topic on MS project, on business case. I'm here to support you. If you are going to develop your project management skills, my goal is to support you there. And of course, don't forget in Instagram I have a Q&A box also where you can ask questions. And if you have questions, you can ask in the Q&A box or you can ask in the comments here. Hope I'm going to see you soon. Thank you and bye.